You know who it is. It's Sullyman here. Today I got to show off something kind of cool I've been working on a while. It's my Illustrator brush pack. I'm calling it my Essential Illustrator Brush Set 1. It's pretty cool stuff. It's actually pretty much everything that I use in my day-to-day work. Production work for t-shirt design and what have you. And it's just a pretty versatile pack. A lot of stuff you just don't see online. Some of it's very high-end graphic stuff. Some really cool things that you might not have seen yet, but everything I've definitely taken my time, and it's up to the quality that I like to keep my work. I'm also going to show you today on how to use them and how to install them. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and throw them in the comments, and I can get to those later. So let's get started. Here's the brush tab. The way I generally kind of start a fresh document, I look at this stuff. I'm not really going to use any of this. I like to get rid of it. So on the drop down menu button, I click that. You can then select the option for select all unused. Holding control, I like to unselect the brushes that I want to keep. I generally like to keep that first one because I use that for drawing. So once I'm ready, I just hit the trash can and go ahead and hit yes to delete the unused brushes. Now you want to go ahead and install my brush set if you purchased it, which I'll have a link to where you can actually purchase the set, which I hope you do. It definitely supports what I'm doing here. But anyways, here's your list of everything, and user defined is grayed out because there's nothing user defined yet. So let's go ahead and click other library, and then we're going to go find where it was downloaded. In this case, it's already on my computer because it's mine. So I'm going to go ahead and select that, and it'll give you kind of a little overview, preview of what's in the set. All sorts of organic stuff, leaves, palm tree leaves for making quick palm trees, tropical kind of vibes, a lot of awesome splatter brushes, some very nice artistic paint brushes, smoke, chains, all sorts of chains from Gucci links, Cuban links, standard chains, fence, barbed wire, wood textures, rivets, bolts and screws, octopus tentacles, which are pretty cool, tribal fire flames, the blood splatter, the blood drips, a lot of cool graphic elements, but it's essentially everything that I use to create a lot of my production work. So anyways, this is the brush set. Go ahead and select that and then hit open. It might take a little longer on your computer as it's 125 megabytes, so it might take a second to install. But once it's installed, you're going to see a new window, which you could either drag into a new tab, or you could just select a few that you want for that current job that you're working on, and you're good to go. So I'm going to drag and drop it into my brush tab. You'll see that it actually gives it a new tab. I can go back to the standard tab by just clicking on it. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and test out some of these brushes. I'm a big fan of the art brushes. These kind of mimic using a paintbrush with paint on it. So with these, there's a few things you can do as far as like selecting color. So I'm going to go ahead and select a red for now and kind of show you what these things are all about. So that's what's so great about these. If you have a Wacom tablet, or if you don't, they're real good. If you have the Wacom, then you're definitely ahead of the pack, keeping things real custom. For production wise, I would suggest having the Wacom, but you don't have to. You can use the pen tool as well. As you can see here, just using a pen tool and the mouse, click on the stroke that you'd like to use. But for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and use the Wacom. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Go back to these brushes. I'm just going to spell out the word flesh. I don't know why, just on the top of my head. I don't like that too much. So, and that's what's great about Illustrator. You can just kind of go in, and it's really for the illustrators. Keeping everything vector. Just kind of move things around. A little more difficult in Photoshop. So there's the word flesh, and then you can kind of go in and really start adding extra paint in there where you see fit. You know, and then I got some smaller strokes to get that nice grungy edge. Like the brush dried out, and it's, you know, gives it that real nice grungy feel. You know, so I'm going to go into some of these areas and darken them up a little bit. Good for like local bands and stuff like that. You know, they like that real grungy stuff. But yeah, just go in and kind of design it to taste. I mean, there's not too much I can show you as far as your own personal taste. This is just something you develop over time. But, so yeah, here we go. I'm pretty happy with that. And say this is like a band. You know, the name of their band is Flesh. They want something real grungy. You know, you can add. Still got the red going. I can add in some splatters on the fly, super fast. I just kind of, you know, put them in every spot that you think. Test it out. If you don't like it, hit undo. I like that one a lot. Let's see what else here. We got some nice squirting blood there. Get some of this here. And I got some of these nice blood drips as well. I like these a lot. So when you're using the brush, what's great, you can move it around. And you can also change the stroke size. So just make sure you have it selected, change the stroke size, and it'll widen out. Let's get some more nice detailed stuff here. Or, you know, this one kind of looks a little big to me. So I'll drag that up. I can always knock it down in size or type in the size that I want. These are some nice blood drips that kind of hit the wall. Let's see here. I'm going to widen the stroke on that. And then once you widen it, you can then shrink the stroke down. And I'll put it right about there. Okay, so let's see here. What else can I add to this? So I'm pretty happy with this. I'm just going to go ahead and group everything here. You know what I'm going to also do is I'm going to add a black background. So let's go ahead and grab our darkest black. And I'm going to add a background real fast. And I'm going to lock the background and then zoom back into my work. So this is looking pretty good. I like this so far. I'm going to go ahead and add a new layer. Get back to my brush and head over to my custom brushes. Let's throw some fence in. See what that looks like. I'm going to choose white as the stroke color. See what we got here. That's pretty good. I like that. And again, we can change the size if we want. You can actually type it in as well. You know, say you're done with it, the white. Go ahead and expand. You can also change the color further from there. Right now we got it kind of set to a black, so let's go ahead and lighten it up. It looks a little too light, so let's go ahead and knock it back down. And then what's cool from here, just go to Object, Envelope, Distort. You can warp with just regular warp, or you can use the mesh. I like to do a 2-2. And then you can actually bend it around. Use your Direct Select tool. Just got to kind of bend your fence around. Let's bend that back in a little bit here. So that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and lock that. I'm going to do another layer here. Let's see what else we can add in here. Yeah, let's do some bike chain. And I got 3 different versions of this. A silhouetted version, a line art version, and then a nice 3D rendered version of this. I'm going to go ahead and slap this in real fast and kind of show you what this is all about. So right now I have white selected, so it's showing pretty bright. I'm going to go ahead and select a, whoops, make sure it's on the stroke, otherwise it's going to add a fill. So I'll switch over to the stroke, and let's pick the black. That should darken it up. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I like that. I like that. So you can then shrink it down from there. You can alter the path if you want to. But it's pretty cool stuff. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so you can kind of check it out. Nice 3D looking chain. Ready to go. Vector ready, you know. That's what's so fantastic about it. So also, say this is looking a little too bright. Go ahead and select it. You can head over to the live color, the recolor artwork option. Then you can darken it. It'll actually apply it to the brush. Let's see here. I might have to actually expand that. I think I might have got a little ahead of myself. Yeah, so let's go ahead and expand the appearance. Then let's head over to recolor artwork. We should be able to darken it up with this here. It's a lot better. I like that. Okay, great. Looking good. Yeah, let's go. Let's head back to the font. Let's go ahead and expand the appearance. Actually, turn it into everything that we want. I like to merge down. Sometimes this takes a little while because there's so many nodes everywhere. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit merge. So let's see how long it'll take. You know, depending on the speed of your computer, you know, it might be substantial lag or none at all, depending on how fast it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and. This is the red that I initially picked. I'm gonna put that, drop that in there. I'm gonna actually pick a brighter red as well. Throw that in there. And then what I'm going to do is turn it into a gradient. Turn it into a gradient, and with gradients, to change the gradient, once you apply the gradient, you can select the specific color you want. Then head over to your color tab, hold down Alt, and then select the color that you want that specific color to be. So I want the black to be the darker red. I'm going to then click the white, and then Alt click the lighter color. Now I can go and use my gradient tool, which is over here, and then select the direction that I want my gradient to be in. So I'm going to go, I want dark at the bottom, light at the top. That looks pretty good. I like that. And again, this is production work. You know, you've got this whole thing. You know, if you don't like specific things, you didn't really spend all that much time on it. You can knock it out. You know, if you weren't liking the chain, let's go ahead and slap in some rivets or some screws or something like that. I'm going to go ahead and add a new layer. And this time I'm going to use the pen tool. I'm going to turn off Smart Guides real fast and just kind of lay this in. I'm going to go ahead and first turn off the fill so we can see what we're doing. And then close this out. I got a red stroke right now, which I don't want, so I'm going to select black, head back over to my brush menu, and then select the brush I want to use. So there we go. We got some screws in there. Again, we can change the stroke size. If you're not liking the size of the screws, you can go there and change that. And what's also great, which I'll show you right now, is they're dumping it into the main bin. So each brush that you end up using in your artwork, it's going to dump it into the main tab, the main brush tab. So say, let's see, I'm going to change this out so kind of show you. You got screws. These are more of some bolts. You got rivets. Oh, I like those, the Phillips head screws. So we'll go ahead and keep with those. And just like I showed you, you can change the color. If you want to get a little more experimental with it, you can expand it and then go into your recolor artwork option and change the color from there. So we've selected the Phillips head. Now let's go ahead back to our main brush tab. I'm going to go ahead and double click on this. And you can go in and you can actually change the spacing if you wanted to as well. So if you want larger gaps, you can do that as well. And what's great about these brushes is you can actually turn them into clip art. You know, if you really want to get crazy and start doing your own stuff as well, you can do that. Like with the splatter, you can drag and drop that splatter. I'll turn the background off. Drag and drop the splatter. Just make sure you release the compound path. With your direct select, there's a box surrounding the brush. Make sure you delete that. And then you're back to the original vector artwork. And you can tweak this out all you want or use it as clip art. Again, they're set up as brushes for you to just go in and be able to really kind of change the direction of the artwork and stuff like that. But you can use it as clip art as well. So you can just drag and drop those on the fly. So here we go. We've got our screws. You know, you can pull them in if you want. Get them to where you like them. It's looking pretty good. Let's see what else we can add here. I'm just going to take a look through the brushes, and I'm just kind of doing this off the top of my head. You know, you got these chains too. Let's go ahead and use these 3D chains. This might be kind of cool too. I'm going to head back to my brush and just start brushing in some chains. You know, a lot of this MMA stuff, fight things, there's just all sorts of elements for that. You know, I went with, when designing all these brushes, I kind of went with what's seemingly the most popular stuff I work on, you know, right now. And it seems to be kind of this stuff. So, and again, you can change the size of the links, and you know, you got a pretty cool looking design so far on the fly. So that's it for just this design. You know, it's ready to go. You know, you're done. You can send it out to your client. So what I'm going to do here is just kind of delete all these excess layers. And now I'm just going to kind of run you through, you know, what's in the kit. And remember, any questions you have, go ahead and throw them in the comments. And I'll also include the link to where you can purchase these. So I got some pretty cool stuff here too, like with these studded belts. I like using these. Use these in a few of my designs. So you can click that, it'll dump it in, and some of these are pretty graphic heavy. I took the time. This is actually a belt. It's got texture on it. It's got the studs. You know, you can go pretty wild with this one. It's like the a lot of the kids like wearing the studded belts. And if you can see, and I'll zoom in, it's got the leather texture, and you got the studs and the holes in the belt, stuff like that. Thorns. Smoke brush is pretty cool too. I'm going to turn that black background on and show you these smoke brushes. These are pretty cool too. So say, I mean, you can use them as smoke. You can, you know, whatever you think you can use them as. Go ahead and drop some of that in real fast. And it's vector smoke. Pretty cool stuff that you can use in your artwork, or smoke behind something. You know, you can probably turn it into flames as well. You know, you probably have to layer a few times with some orange and intensify the color and stuff like that. But you can see with this, it's just pretty cool stuff. Go ahead and knock a few. Like with these smoke brushes, they're pretty graphically intense, so they might take a second for you to be able to drop them in. But yeah, they're full on vector with the fade and everything. Really cool brushes. I'm just kind of zooming in here so you can check them out. Pretty convincing stuff. I use these a lot, and I also included just the single strand smoke. So you can go, I have these, I like to have these because they're just quick and they're pretty convincing smoke, and I don't have to do too much. This is just a single strand, and you can create fire, flames with this. You can do the smoke, you know, set the pressure sensitivity, color, all sorts of stuff that you can do with these. But I included that as well for you to kind of do your own. Let's go ahead and turn this black off. You got wood textures as well. Kind of slap it in, resize it if you've got like a square and you want to add the texture to it. You got the wood textures, spider web stuff. Actually, I'm going to throw that in the design we were working with. Say, get some spider web going in between letters. Can do that. Whoops. Let's go ahead and change it up a little bit with this one here. Slap that in behind. Got some nice spider web stuff. Like using the flying birds, crows, what have you. You can put those in as well. Go back to my brush. Oops. Let's see here. Nice and straight. Oops. Keep moving the design. Let's get back to what we're doing here. I've got these flying birds. Just quick and simple, you know. Actually, let me undo that. I'm going to select them both. I'm going to select everything and then just paste behind. And those are good to go. So you got spider webs and the flesh. Let's see here. Palm trees, this is a big one. I also, being down in Florida, I do a lot of tropical kind of designs for boats and stuff like that. So I'm always doing stuff like, let's see here, we'll do a boat name and do something tropical. We'll do like this boat. This is the name of the boat. Let's grab, let's see, quick little text. Change the letter spacing. You know what? Let's go for something chunky. Let's knock it in a little bit here. This boat, we can do an object envelope sort with mesh. Keep it to 2.2. This is a quick little text adjustment you can make. Get your text looking a little better. Nice little arc. Expand. That looks pretty cool. We'll do like a light lime green color. Actually, let's do it a gradient. Switch them up here. This boat with a nice lime green stroke. Make sure it's an outside stroke. Okay, that's cool for now. We've got that. Let's create a new layer and let's hop over to our custom brushes. Let's use some green to create our palm leaves. So again, if the orientation isn't the way you want it, you can always change that. Double click into the brush. Make sure you head to the main brushes. Find that specific brush, like this palm leaf we're using. You can change the direction, the orientation, that when you're using whatever direction the stroke's going, you can change that. So let's go ahead and get back to what we're doing. You curve them out, so these are kind of some sideways angles, some top angle stuff. You can get in there and really do some cool custom stuff with these. And it's just super fast. You know, you're not wasting a lot of time having to go in and you know, create or, you know, gut out a palm tree, and you know, you can switch it out, change the brush, and it's just fast. And once you're done with that, object, expand appearance, you can then go ahead and hit a gradient like I showed you before, click the colors, and then you know, change the colors if you want. Just that little bit of gradient. You got this cool little tropical vibe going. Then head back in. Let's see, yeah, let's just do some splatters too. Let's do some nice lime green splatters. Let's see here. Just throw those in. Oops. So remember, you can also take a stroke once you've got it down, object, expand it, and you can just work it to your heart's content. Spread that around, change the angle a little bit. Once you have that, expand them again. You can merge them down or just individually color. I'm going to go ahead and merge them down so it's just one nice object. Go ahead and apply the gradient to that too. And on the fly, just a cool little design. A nice, you know, if you're doing some guy's, you know, boat t-shirt, whatever the name is, in there, and you're just kind of doing that stuff super fast. It should probably look good on the black too. So let's go ahead and select all, group these. I'm just going to delete the extra channels that we have. This is the spider web. We'll go ahead and group those. And you can see within this short amount of time, I'm not exactly sure how long the video is running, but you know, we've created some graphically intense designs with some cool colors on the fly, and it's just cool. Experiment. There's lots of stuff in here for you to you know, create all sorts of custom stuff. I mean, like with this stuff, that, you know, there's some nice fern work here. You know, the birds, vine work, thorn branches, the belts, the fencing, rivets, chains. Actually, one last thing I can show you. This is one of my favorites. I like to use this for some custom kind of font work. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the background off, turn these two designs off. I'm gonna go ahead and use this. I'm gonna use the pen tool. I like to be pretty accurate with this one. I'm gonna create the letter S. I'm gonna take the fill off for now. Select this brush. This is actually an embroidery brush. It mimics embroidery, like a puffed embroidery. What's cool is now that we have the stroke, you can use the stroke width tool in Illustrator and change the width. I love this brush. You see a lot of the t-shirts, instead of actually doing the embroidery, you can just mimic it in your screen print or in your design, whatever you're using this for. I know it's pretty cool stuff, and I get a lot of good feedback with these, and I think you will too. So we just keep kind of going in, and if you love font work and like to do your own custom fonts, and that's what you're known for, this is a great tool. Absolutely great tool. You can, if you like it being a consistent line weight, you can do that. You just leave it how it is. I like to change the stroke width at certain points, on the tips and areas like that. Give it that calligraphy feel to it. And it's an Illustrator. It's vector ready. It's just it's just wonderful. I love it. I spend a lot of time in Illustrator setting up stuff like this that I can then drop into Photoshop and tweak even further if I wanted to. So let's go ahead and once this stroke is done, stack that behind, and yeah, you got some pretty cool looking stuff, and it looks exactly how a puffed embroidery would go, and then say you had this, you can go to effects. Let's see here. What could we do here? Let's see. Let's go to the effects gallery. See what else we could do with this. Yeah, and then in here you can do the Photoshop artistic thing to a lot of this stuff. Let's actually hit cancel. But yeah, you can go in, you can tweak that, posterize it, rasterize it, all sorts of stuff that you can do with it. Let me see here. You can pixelate. Let's see here, torn edges, all sorts of stuff. You know what? Actually, I'm going to leave this be. But yeah, when you're done with it, let's say we can duplicate. I'm going to just go ahead and expand. What I like to do to kind of change, if I just wanted this all flat color, just grab my square, make a big square, select everything, I then divide. This might take a second. There are a lot of nodes in that one, or anchor points. I'm going to do the divide. Once it's divided, and then let's select that, and then merge it down. This is probably going to take a second too. There's just so much there. So again, with this, it's just depending on the speed of your computer. If the computer's moving fast, then this shouldn't take any time at all. Mine's not the fastest computer. It's fairly moderate, but it gets the job done. So I know a lot of you out there don't have any, super crazy machines. But yeah, so like you can see here, just add a quick little drop shadow to it. I tend to try to stay away from a lot of the raster effects, but you can if you want to. But yeah, there you go. You got some pretty cool embroidery. You can change the color, mix them up, add them together, and it's all vector. You can change the side, and it's just really production oriented. You can get this stuff done super duper quick. So in this minimal amount of time, we've already started a third design, and we've gotten two really nice looking designs together in a super fast amount of time. So like I said, these are pretty cool. There's 100 brushes that you can use in this, and they're very, very versatile brushes. So a lot of them in there you'll have endless uses for. But like this here, even with this flesh one, you could do scars. I even included some scar work in here. You can see right here. I'll show you. size. And let's go in. You can change the color, remember, on the fly, so if it's not looking the way you want it to. You know, lighten it up or go into recolor artwork and change it to the color you want. Change the stroke width. See here, it's a nice scar. You know, you can add that in there, or change the scar if you want to. Make sure you have the stroke selected. Hit that, and you got some pretty cool scar stuff. So you can imagine what you could apply these things to. You know, the tribal brushes, the tentacles. These are pretty cool too. Whoops. Change the orientation on that. Let's change the stroke size. Let's get this down to up there. Oops. Make sure I'm moving in the right direction first off. Let's go ahead and expand that. Go ahead and we'll delete the scar for now. Turn on our background here. We've got the tentacles, and then you can kind of go in with your magic wand and change this color if you wanted to. Darker color. Now you got tentacles in the design. It's just, there's just so much in here, and they're super versatile, and it'll get a lot of this stuff, you know, done, like, you know, working with, you know, t-shirt stuff and font. You got things that you can create your own custom fonts with. There's just a lot of stuff that you can do with these brushes, and you know, I hope you learned something today. And you know, like I said, I'm gonna include the link in the description below for the for my Sellify store, where you can purchase these brushes. And you know, I thank you if you do purchase them. It does help support what I'm doing here. And I just want to thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.